Howdy folks. Today I have the Manfrotto One system tripods in. I actually have the aluminum and the carbon fiber, and we're going to look at them together because essentially the features are all the same. It's just the material and the price that's different. Now the big feature on these guys is it's an all-in-one system that they say is the last tripod you'll ever need to buy. This is not a sponsored video, just a quick note. I've been following this tripod since it was announced and then released, and I haven't really seen any videos on it that weren't sponsored promotions, like a proper review. So that's what we're doing today. The big selling point of this guy is the new leg architecture and the way you're able to basically go from horizontal to vertical, to also adjust the column to be able to shoot top-down shots and to get the tripod super low to the ground, all in a really seamless way without having to change too many parts. So let's see how it is in reality. Ever wondered how professional photographers work alongside modern adult content creators to make truly unique content? My new course teaches you exactly that, how to capture creator-led photography and video that's intimate, expressive, and fits within the creator's aesthetic and branding, all in a fun and professional way. This is the first time I've created a course aimed at this level of content. You can see full details below. All right, so let's unbox this guy. This is the aluminum version. And as soon as you open it, kind of interesting how packaging has evolved. The tripod and head are right there. So these are the legs. They ship with the 500X head, also dusty. Plate. What do we got here? This is little spare parts. The inserts. Then underneath we have our little magic arm. And then underneath is the bag that it comes with. So yeah, not an ounce of plastic in all of the packaging. That's really nice to see. Interesting thing about this guy, it's new leg design and new latch design. It is really quite different for Manfrotto. These are the one flick and the whole leg pops out. Now that is a little stiff because it's brand new out of the box, but it's the one we were playing with yesterday loosened up and was comfortable to use straight away. This is the height without having to extend the column once the head's on. And then you have a camera on there. It is pretty much at eye level for someone who's just shy of 6 foot like me. Now let's put the 500X on. First of all, you've got a level on the legs and you've got a level on the head. So if you did that, measured out the legs and they're all even, but then the ground isn't level, you can flick this switch up and it unlocks the bowl here basically. That also you can lock down, but let's say that's where I need it to be. You lock that down and then it's all locked away. We've got here is for your to be able to extend up, and that's kind of the party trick of this guy. You can bring it all the way up, but then just by pushing a button on the bottom, you don't need to undo anything. Boom, you're able to swing and get into this mode. So if you were doing top-down video shots, that's already handy. If you do need to detach, so again, pushing that button in to be able to get it through, and then down. If we did, for example, want to go really low to the ground, then this isn't going to really work, right? The center column. There's a little latch in here that you slide across, and then this just pulls out. Like this is literally the second time I've done it, the first time with this tripod. It's really easy. When you know what all the switches do, it genuinely is a pretty clever design. Then the leg ratchet system is also new. So you've pull that down, and then you can lock it out in several different positions, including almost flat. So if we do that, then you can see we get, well, pretty low to the ground, but any tripod you're gonna have this, it's not gonna be super stable if you have the legs all the way out like that. You wanna close them in for maximum stability. So there, Still, you got a little bit of flex, but to be able to get really low to the ground shots, it's a pretty seamless experience, really. And the feet have a little kind of cap, which could be really handy. You don't need to change parts to reveal the stud for shooting on difficult surfaces. But then if you lose this, you're kind of out of luck. You can also unlock the head, this new quick change system. You just turn this dial, it unlocks it. And then this plate, you can kind of pop it down in any spot and it just locks back in place. Turn and it's off, click it back in, and it's on. So you still, for maximum safety, want to screw that down. And there's actually in here a little extra locking mechanism, so you can lock that so then you can't accidentally pull it off. And these connection plates, you can buy them separately, so then you could put this onto any of your heads. So we have a camera locked in place. We'll lock it down nice and tight. So first you'll notice it's kind of sliding away on me. This has a locking system, so you can adjust the resistance. So now it won't. As I loosen it, it will. But it also has a counterbalance system, which actually the counterbalance was already on there. When you have enough resistance, that's easy to move. But when I move it to a position, it's going to lock. If I turn the counterbalance off, it is basically an extra lock. But the real showstopper or the party trick of this is this little button here on the back. So here we're all set up, we're filming in horizontal mode for YouTube. Then you hit this 90-degree button and then boom, you're straight away into vertical video. And it's all leveled out. It's still got all of the same features, but it's good to go. And it's locked there. You need to push that button again to put it down. And I'll say that is something that I really like about this system. I guess I'm getting old and I've broken enough things in my career that I like to be double careful now. I like that this system is so clicky. So you get an obvious kind of audio feedback that it's locked in, or when you take the head off, when you snap it in, there's a click, or even the legs as they're clicking into place, there's a nice audible click. So you're kind of confident that everything is locked in as it needs to be. Okay, so this will be an outtake, I guess. This is not staged. We were just filming more B-roll having finished, and this last leg section won't extend. All right, another surprise add addition here. What the hell is this scratch coming from? It couldn't have been when I put it flat on the ground because it wasn't even on hard surfaces, but it's actually rubbing on the next leg. So this leg screw here, so that is rubbing the paint off there, and then it's rubbing the paint off the next one, and so on and so forth. And then on the inside of the legs too, you see we have abrasion line on each of the 3 legs there. That's because, again, they flex and they're rubbing against this central column. And this is, we basically carried it from the house, did filming, set it up, packed it away a couple of times, and it's already got that. I have tripods that I've used for 5 years that don't have big scratches on them. Hey folks, this video is brought to you by Patreon Uncut. If you want to see behind the scenes on shoots like this, where noisy trucks are coming through or soccer balls almost knock my camera over, you see full behind the scenes, unedited, uncensored access for YouTube, travel, as well as my different model shoots. You can see full details below. So look, there's a lot to like about this system, especially the head, the quick 90-degree rotation, the counterbalance, the fact that you can move it into so many different positions. It's great. But there is a big caveat, and this was the thing that first caught my eye when this was announced. The overall system has a maximum payload of only 5 kilograms. Now, on one hand, you know, your typical mirrorless or DSLR and even a 70 to 200 lens is less than 5 kilograms, but I still can't think of many tripods, that have a rating less than, 10 or 20 kilos even. When you're in this position, that's the weight limit, because if you had too much, it would easily tip over, and this hinge needs to take all of that weight. If I'm shooting and doing this, I'm adding weight to the combo, and that's all part of it. So especially if you're like this and then you're kind of on the camera, that downward pressure can easily put you past 5 kilograms. Having said that, I would say for most situations, if you're using a small mirrorless or cine rig around this kind of size, you'll be fine. But when you get to something bigger, on a much bigger rig, whilst this is not something we typically use, I wanted to see how it will go. We'll pop the weight of this system on screen. I can say with the counterbalance enabled, okay, so if I loosen it, gosh, this is still so front heavy, but if I tighten it down, how far does it need to be tightened? It needs to be tightened a lot. It can do it, but it's then really hard for me to move. And I'm loath to even try this, but let's do it. Putting it on the side position, well, the tripod's not falling over, but I don't feel that, I mean, I guess if you're using a cine rig like this, you'll probably go to something bigger, but just keep it in mind. Again, the 5 kilos, if I then were like having a monitor or more batteries, or if I put some weight on here, there's a whole lot of weight right on that support. But if you're considering the price point of this, just keep in mind 5 kilos really isn't much. Next, let's compare how this fits into other tripods around the same price. So comparing this to say Peak Design's range of tripods, and they've got that new travel tripod as well. They have a great folding design, a much smaller footprint and a higher payload. I use a lot of Gitzo tripods. They don't have something exactly like this, and they're also more expensive, but again, you can get things much lighter that have a much higher payload. And maybe the one that is closest to this, at least in the quick leg release, would be the small rig potato jet tripod. That one also is actually weight limited to 6 kilos, but that gives you 20% more headroom than this one is. So with the head, the aluminium one is $680, legs only I think is $500. The carbon fiber one is $880, legs alone $720. So you're getting a $20 discount on the head with the carbon fiber one. So $900 basically plus tax for this tripod. It's a serious piece of investment. I actually could see productions like mine using it, to be honest. We're not using giant equipment, we're okay to carry things. It's not for someone who wants the lightest possible tripod, it's not for someone on a limited budget, and it's not for someone using really heavy equipment. Actually, I think it's for people like us. We're not using a giant cinema camera. It's not that heavy that would be prohibitive for us to take out, but it would be too heavy to just like throw on your backpack if you're out traveling. I love all of the features. I love that you've got this option, where's my knob, to, you know, switch in and do tabletop shooting, that kind of thing. And it's all really nice and seamless. Just at that price point, it's not going to work for everyone. And I think the features it's added, if you'll use them, make it worthwhile. If you're not going to use all of the features that this quick change system offers, then some of the trade-offs in terms of build quality and payload make it a bit of a hard pill to swallow. Let me know what questions you have. Let me know what tripod you're currently shooting with, and you can see full details for all the things I mentioned in today's video in the description below.